Everybody, it's Monica with your best female figure. Welcome back to vlogtober 30 and 31. So this is my last video. I probably will not be uploading video until mid-December. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the last 15 days. So yesterday I decided to take it easy because I was having really terrible cramps and back pain because it was, that time of the month. This cramps and back pain situation is kind of a new development in my life. I've always had it very easy with my cycle. It's very predictable every 28 days and very easy, hardly any issues. So this, now is happening every few months where the cramps and the back pain are just terrible. And I was kind of feeling sorry for myself, so I didn't do anything. I just kicked back with my dog, read a book. I did, write and do some other work, but I didn't work out, which was probably the biggest mistake I could have made, because this morning when I woke up, the back pain and the cramps were even worse. So today I decided that I was gonna beat my menstrual cramps and back pain with exercise, and I'll show you exactly what I did. But first I had to make these bloody vampire cupcakes to take to this party that we're going to. Now this is 100% junk food, and I do not recommend you eat this kind of stuff if you have no self-control, meaning that you can't just have a few bites and then not have any more junk. So if you're in the process of weight loss or fat loss, just stay away from this stuff until you get to the weight that you want to be at, and then start introducing little treats back in, because you have to be able to eat this stuff, in moderation. Otherwise, you're never going to get the results you want from your workouts. Anyways, that batter looks like blood, and it was kind of staining the counter, but it came right off. I was afraid that I was going to permanently stain the counter. I've never worked with this stuff before, and it really does look freaky when you're mixing it. But then once you bake the cupcakes, they don't look so bloody. And then we're going to add raspberry and chocolate sauce inside. So we have to cut the tops off, and then we got to frost them and put more blood on the outside. It's going to be a really fun treat. But anyways, back to what I did to get rid of my cramps and back pain. I started with various types of scapular retractions to warm up the entire back and to increase breathing, and also to open up the chest and the abs. The first type of scapular retraction was kind of a lateral leaning one, and then this one is an inverted one. So you're starting on the floor and you're really going into a back bending position. You really have to engage your upper back muscles for this so that you don't hurt your neck or your shoulders. If this is something that's totally new to you, probably not a good idea to do this, but you can do the other scapular retractions, especially this one, because this one trains your back, but it also starts to open the hips, which is where you hold a lot of tension when you're having back pain and cramps. So you're just leaning over to the side and letting one hip drop down to the floor. Now the next exercise was a deep abdominal activation or core activation move that you've seen me film a bunch of times. And when you're having cramps, basically that's like a muscle spasm. So if you're activating those muscles down there, you're getting blood flow in there, and that's going to alleviate a lot of that muscle spasm that you're having. And I did two types of core activation. So I did the forward bending one and then the lateral bending one. So you actually saw this in yesterday's feather boa video that I uploaded. I was doing this with a feather boa. So there's a lot of ways that you can do this exercise, and it's really great for core activation, for stretching the entire side of the body, increasing your breathing, and just helping you to relax a lot of muscles in the hip and the low back. You don't need to do a whole bunch of reps of this stuff. I started out with anywhere from 4 to 8 repetitions of each exercise, and then there were exercises that I did not repeat again, and there were others that I did repeat 2 more times. So I did 3 rounds of certain moves, but only 1 round of some moves. So after I was done with the ropes and the sand bell, I moved on to the booty band. So I'm doing kind of a hip extension, but also core activation. So you're drawing the knees in towards the ab by squeezing your deep abdominals in. You're also doing a scapular retraction by dragging the elbows down next to the rib cage, and then you're lifting the legs up spreading them apart. So you're really working your glutes to spread that band apart, and then you lift up into that hip thrust. That's going to work your glutes, which is going to get a lot of blood flow in there, and it's going to help again to alleviate all that muscle spasm and cramping that's going on. And then you're just going to do some side leg lifting with that resistance band. The orange one is probably somewhere in between in terms of resistance. It's not the hardest band, it's also not the easiest band. After you do that, you're going to do some lower body rotations, and you can just keep the band on there and maintain a little bit of tension on there. That's going to help you to activate your core a little bit better. After that, you're going to go back to that lateral core activation, which is basically just a triangle pose, and you can add a curl and an overhead press if you like, but you don't have to. You can just leave that out if that's a problem for you. And if you don't want to use the sand bell, you can still do this exercise with just your body weight, and it will accomplish the exact same thing. Using the weight does help you go a little bit deeper, and it does help to activate your core a little bit more, but it's not necessary. And then once again, I repeated some of the stability ball movements. So lateral rolling is really great for relaxing your entire back and also your hips. And then just a big back bend on the ball to help release more tension from the abs, followed by some bridges. So this is really good traction for your low back. It's probably one of the best exercises to alleviate low back pain. And then some lateral rotation with legs straight and the ball between the feet to activate the core a little bit more. And then I went back to the ropes and I did a little bit more scapular retraction with hip activation as well. And then I just stretched for a little while. My foot was cramping really badly at one point, so I kind of stopped and had to rub it a little bit. After that, I finished with some laying to sitting scapular retractions, and then with some rope assisted up dog stretches, and that was it. I was done. And my cramps and back pain were 99% gone. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed Vlogtober 2015. I will be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your best female figure. Thank you so much for watching.